The Echo of Us. Chapter 1. Love was never mine to hold. If hell exists, I have already walked through its gates. You see, my greatest crime was not that I loved her. My greatest crime was that I knew I was stealing something that was never meant to be mine, and yet I didn't stop. Her name was Aisha, and she belonged to my best friend. It began as a harmless encounter, casual introduction, a polite smile, exchanged at a dinner party where I was supposed to toast their happiness. Zayed, my best friend, the brother I never had found the love of his life, and I was the one who ruined it. Chapter 2. A fire that should have died. At first I convinced myself that it was nothing, a fleeting admiration, a moment of weakness. But the universe had other plans. Aisha and I kept meeting at gatherings, at coffee shops, at the house Zayed and I once shared our dreams in, and with every stolen conversation, with every glance that lingered a second too long, a fire began to grow inside me. I prayed for it to die, but love is cruel. It does not listen to prayers, and neither did she. It started with a touch, accidental, unnecessary, but neither of us moved away. Then came the late-night messages. Are you awake? I don't know why I feel this way. Tell me to stop. But I never did. Chapter 3. The Fall. The first time I kissed her, I thought the world would end. We were alone. Zayed was away for a week, trusting me to look after her while he was gone. Keep her safe, he had joked, clapping my back. She gets lonely. I should have left. I should have stayed away. Instead, I stayed. That night, rain pounded against the windows, as if the universe was trying to wash away the sin before it could be committed. But nothing could stop us. Her lips were fire, and I let myself burn. For a moment, there was silence. Then she whispered against my skin, "We can't." I nodded. "We won't." It was the first lie we told ourselves. It wouldn't be the last. Chapter 4. Playing with the Devil. We lived in shadows. Zayed, oblivious, would pull me into hugs, call me his brother, tell me how grateful he was to have me in his life. And Aisha, she played her role as the perfect, but at night, in the hidden corners of the world where morality couldn't reach, she was mine. Guilt wrapped its fingers around my throat, but desire tightened its grip. We knew we were heading toward ruin. We knew this story could only end in destruction. But some people don't stop, even when they see the cliff ahead. They just hold hands and jump. Chapter 5. The wedding that should have never happened. The day Zayed married Aisha, I stood beside him as his best man. I held the ring. I gave the speech. I drank the champagne. I smiled when I was supposed to. And when Aisha walked down the aisle, I looked into her eyes and saw the same torment that was shredding me apart from the inside. Do you, Aisha, take Zayed to be your lawful wedded husband? She hesitated, just for a second, just long enough for the universe to mock us. Then she said, I do. And just like that, the girl I loved became someone else's wife. Chapter 6. The Collapse. I wish I could say we stopped. That after the wedding, we never touched, never spoke words laced with longing. But love isn't rational. It doesn't care about paper vows or sacred promises. And neither did we. The affair didn't just continue, it consumed us. Every stolen night felt like a war between pleasure and punishment. Every whispered I love you felt like a blade slicing deeper into our souls. And then, one evening, Zayed found out. Not from a stranger, not from an accident, from Aisha herself. She couldn't take it anymore. The lying, the pretending, the weight of her guilt pressing against her ribs until she could barely breathe. And so, she confessed. I remember the look on Zadie's face when he came to me that night. No anger, no shouting, just a quiet, hollow devastation. Why? He asked. And I had no answer. Because love is never a reason. It's just an excuse. Chapter 7. The ruins we left behind. Sayad walked away. Aisha fell apart. And I was left with the silence of everything we destroyed. She tried to call me once. I didn't pick up. Some love stories don't end with a dramatic chase at the airport. Some don't end with forgiveness or redemption. Some love stories end with nothing but echoes of what could have been, and the ghosts they leave behind.